and let's plan our invitation. Good afternoon. And I think you're correct. Today, small and yet mighty. And if I were to put a question out to the Akron Rotary Club and our distinguished guests, the question would be this. Do any of you want to bring change to this city and to the world? Does anybody want to change the world? Yes. Yeah. And I think I know that to be true as I've gotten to know you. And this last weekend, I had the opportunity to see a movie which I would recommend. It's entitled Unsung Hero, a story about an overcoming family that moved to this great country from Australia. And as the movie came to an end, there was a quote that was put on the screen that really impacted me, and I believe it will impact you, because the way that the Akron Rotary Club and the way that Rotary operates in this world is from a foundation of integrity and character. And here's what the quote says. It's by someone I think we all know and recognize, Mother Teresa. And here's what she had to say. I love this. She said, do you want to change the world? Go home and love your family. Go home and love your family. And there's a lot to be said for that. And as I've gotten to know you, and as you've gotten to know me, I think that resembles something true here, that we recognize first things first. And so with that, join me if you will in prayer. So Lord, thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to love this city, to love this nation, to love the world. Continue to lead us, continue to show us where you would want to go and how you would serve for our guests here today, what he is doing in North Hill. And we just say more. And bless this food, bless our time of fellowship, and we give thanks. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Thanks, Steve. Connor Jarvis is our leader today. Connor, do you have some guests?
Yes, we have.
Yes,
we got some guests. Of course, Justin, our speaker, which we formally introduced momentarily. Dr. Rob has two guests that are here with us again and will no longer be guests, will be members very soon. That's Matt Long and Ryan Miller. And we also have Samantha K. Smith, who will be becoming an official member herself here shortly, too. So welcome to these guests for the last time as guests before they're officially members. Beyond that, am I missing anyone else? And I don't think we have any visiting Rotarians, and because I just asked Tom if I could ask this, because sometimes I forget, do we have any Rotary ambassadors? Has anyone visited another club? Okay, that's it, Tom.
Thank you, Connor. Do you want to just stay up for anybody who wants to donate happy dollars today?
Who is happy? Anyone happy?
I'll start by saying I'm extremely happy to be inducting 3 new members today. That's great. Excited about that. It's going to be one of my favorite activities. So there you go.
Thank you, Tom. We'll, oh, you got it. All right. So Tom's happy. All right. Yeah, you're happy. All right. Went to the car special for that. That's right.
Yeah. So I have singles, but I'm going to give a 5. And I'm going to give 2 happy bucks to Doc Rob for all these free over the past 2 bucks. There's 2 bucks for you, Doc Rob. And then
all right. Anyone else? Yep. Louis.
Yes, I have $2,000, and one of them is for Julie. And as a result, there of the long, faithful labor as deputy governor here. And then the second one is for a man that just walked in the room here, Mr. Malcolm. Hey, Malcolm. And incredible work that he does in the inner city and helping others. So,
Thank you. Cool. Yeah, sorry, I'll come back. All right, there's that.
I'm really happy that our part of the event was quite successful. I'm also happy that it's done for another year.
Gary heard that spectacular with the conference. Susan?
I have $4 happy.
I have $4 happy, and I brought the sun back for you from South Carolina. I was happy because our Dragon Green team, we went through a week of training, and that's why I missed your conference. And we competed at the end in a festival with a whole bunch of boats, all powered by mixed groups, except for ours. We were the only breast cancer survivors. And we had 2 boats, and we placed 2nd and 4th. So you all need to get your paddling arms ready. So one of the dollars to celebrate the conference, the wonderful conference, to say thank you, and to recognize that we have a short-term show going out this time. We've already met Annie, who's going to be in Belgium, and she'll host her Belgian sister. And here later this summer, and we'll her to Rotary.
Thank you so much, Susan. Yes. You're a fan.
I just wanted to say we are done with African mentorship for this school year. Our last night was last night, and thanks Cindy and Jerry for making it happen this year with me.
Thank you so much. Ella.
Hey, yeah. I have $3 happy. Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be here again this week, or I was here 2 weeks ago. So, first thing is join Akron Rotary the night out in Prague. So there's flyers on your table. So please come out and join us. Hop in Prague is doing a commemorative camp for Akron Rotary Camp and celebrating the 100th anniversary. David Miller is hosting this night out. So we can stop by from 5 to 9. Stop in anytime. There's, food and all that stuff. But please come out and show your support. Congratulations to Terry. I'm sorry I missed the scholarship event. I heard it was great. Conference was great. So thanks everybody.
I know Julie had $50. Sorry, did I catch you mid-bite? Steve got it started.
Thank you, everyone. Conference this past weekend. Tom was there, and Dr. Rob, and I think Jerry, right? And Julie was there for lunch, and Ella was there, and Stu was there. So thank you all. Lots of other people were there that aren't here today. So thanks so much for your support. We had a great conference. So far, so good on feedback, and great speaker. I think you guys heard a number of the speakers that we had from our own area, which was nice to bring a slice of home to the rest of the district. And so it was nice to be over, and also nice to have celebrated it at the same time. So thank you.
I want to piggyback on that, and Julie's very humble, but she's an incredible presence at the conference. She's a great leader, and has done a wonderful job this year as district governor, and I was honored to be there with her, and I just wanted to acknowledge all that she's done for this conference and for the district. Thank you, Julie.
Remember that. Thanks, Julie. Dr. Rob.
I have five happy words. I echo the fact that Julie had such a presence and following.
I'm going to say nice people.
It was really a good experience, good exposure for our club members, and I think I would certainly encourage all of us to consider going along in the next Rotary conference. Also, this morning, to exposed to groups that I have worked with in terms of children's services. There was an event this morning, County Children's Services had an appreciation event. It was spectacular. They had cases, people who went through the system and came out on the other end in great shape. An incarcerated father stayed engaged with his newborn, never met, finally would be reunited and agency services, visiting kids live. So it's a great cause. So giving a opportunity to face with that.
Tina, yeah.
I'm happy that someone spotted me so I can tell you all that I'm happy, right? And I just want to talk about the planting we did last week on Wednesday at Cascade Valley Park. I'll say that I am in this room of very well-dressed people, and this is my uniform, and it's just nice to be a part of Rotary and like giving back at what I do really well. Would you say we planted like 60 plants?
It was clearly the most of anybody there.
Okay.
They looked the best, and it was the largest number by far, so.
And we saw a bald eagle. So it was a great quick way to be part of Rotary in my fashion.
Thank you, Tina.
So thankful to have you. Oh, thank you very much. All right, anyone else happy before? All right, well, we might be a smaller but mighty group today, 32 happy dollars. So.
Came through, thanks everybody, thank you, Connor. I want to make sure we give Justin plenty of time to speak, but I do want to point out, we have a very short turn on a service opportunity at the Akron Children's Museum. It is not in the Aquatarium this week, I'm not sure how it didn't get in, but it's on Friday, and they were a grant recipient last year, so this is our opportunity to help them. It's starting at 5:30 p.m. on Friday. It's for moms, by moms, and Rotarians have been asked to volunteer to serve drinks, make clay jewelry, and help create bouquets. Yeah, fun kid-free event, even for moms. I'm not sure how that came to be, but that's great. So if anybody's interested, there will be a link online to sign up, and if anybody can participate, even considering this short notice, it would be wonderful to do so. Thank you for that. It is 5:30 p.m. on Friday. I think you can stay as long as you like. So it's 5:30 to kind of whenever. And as always, please look at the Aquatarium for our ongoing service opportunity with Open M. That's kind of a weekly commitment that's going very, very well and is going to continue. That's a critically important initiative. Mel, I believe there's a camp cleanup on May 11th, and there's an opportunity to sign up for that. And although this is sometime off in the future, we don't want to forget that the regatta is on September 28th. So please put that on your calendar. That's a wonderful semi-annual or biannual. I never know what the term is when it's every other year. So this is a magical year. It's camp's 100th anniversary, so it'll definitely be a must-attend event. So put that on your calendar. And David, did you want to reiterate the Hop and Frog?
Yeah, just a couple things on that.
Okay, please do.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Mela, for kicking it off, talking about, I almost said Saturday's event, Thursday's event. So again, on May 2nd, we will be doing the Century Ale release at Hop and Frog. I'm trying to coordinate if we're going to be in the main area, if we're going to be in the toast or the tasting room, the barrel room, as they call it. Anyway, that being said, it is just come. If you can show up for 3 minutes, if you can show up for 3 hours, it's kind of an open house type of event. But I have been asked, is anybody in this room planning on going so I can start getting a little bit of a count? So far we have 2, 3, 4, what's the little count counter? 4. All right, so I told him that, Mel, I don't know if you know from a board perspective, if people have told you, I said maybe between 20 and 30. I don't know. That's what I told him. Okay. Okay, perfect. So it is a fun event. Usually they release their beers on a Saturday. Decided to do it on a Thursday night. So they wanted to make sure that we could draw as much crowd as possible. questions, feel free to reach out to me. It'll be fun. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And now I would like to invite Samantha, Matt, and Ryan up, along with their proposers, Brian Casarco and Dr. Rob, please, for their inductions. Carter, can I ask you to be our photographer today? Okay, thank you.
We trust you. I'm not eating though.
You want me over here? I was like, just point me where
Got quite a crowd up here. Samantha, Matt, and Ryan, becoming a Rotarian is a time for celebration. Membership in Rotary signals your club's confidence in you as a leader in our community. Your fellow members will look upon you as trusted colleagues and friends. Rotary is one of the oldest, and with over 1.4 million members, one of the largest service organizations in the world, and as such will afford you many opportunities to share your time and talents through club service, vocational service, community service, and international service. Rotary is a non-political organization, and as Rotarians, we always strive to act with high ethical standards and display exemplary citizenship. Rotary is not a charity, but Rotarians are expected to be charitable with their time, talents, and treasure. Rotary is not a religious organization, but is built upon eternal principles that have served as a moral compass for people throughout the ages. Samantha, Matt, and Ryan, you've been approved for membership by the Board of Directors of the Rotary Club of Akron. We now ask you to publicly confirm your desire to belong to this club by responding to the following questions with, I do. Do you pledge your personal diligence in protecting the welfare of this club, abiding by its rules, striving to meet its expectations, and participating in its projects? I do. Along with your fellow Rotarians, will you honor and uphold the name, dignity, and rules of Rotary International? My fellow Rotarians, I ask you to welcome Samantha, Matt, and Ryan as colleagues and friends and offer them your assistance and support. Brian and Rob, please provide Samantha, Matt, and Ryan with their Rotary pins and badges. The pinning can be awkward, so you can do that at your convenience. On behalf of Rotary International President Gordon McAnally, our very own District 6630 Governor and fellow Akron Rotarian Julie Brandel, and the Board of Directors of the Rotary Club of Akron, it gives me the great pleasure to induct you into the Rotary Club of Akron. Congratulations on being the world's newest Rotarians. Now I welcome you to introduce yourself to the club.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sammy K. Smith. I am sort of new, sort of restarting my journey with Rotary. I was inducted in 2014 to the Massillon chapter, so COVID threw my plans of finding a new club when I moved up to the Akron area off for quite a bit. I am the family fund administrator for a group called the Flynn Group. That is the the country's largest franchise owner, and we provide personal grants to our employees. So I have a background in nonprofits. I'm also a founding member of a small regional theater called Roving Rogue Productions. We are a nonprofit, just got that put through the state, and if you need theater people, I can help you out. Anything else you want to know about me?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When they said small mighty is a perfect day for me to be here. My name is Ryan Miller. I was born and raised in Akron, Ohio. Graduated from the University of Akron. I'm very familiar with the Rotary Camp itself, and 5 years as aquatics director with Akron Area YMCA, and moved on to be membership director at Shaw JCC. I believe everything happens for a reason, and probably well over a month ago, but came, with Stephanie York as she was a speaker here, guest speaker, and got introduced to the club, and very fortunate for Dr. Rob for, taking the time to kind of bring this to fruition, introduce me, make it a possibility. I want to thank David Miller and Doug Cole for being so welcoming, along with everybody, truly. But yeah, I'm super excited to be a part of this. I also coach Stowe High School. I'm a swim coach over at Stowe High School. Formerly a high school swim coach over at Talmadge. I coach an age group team at Talmadge. I'm very busy, very active, and I just want to be more busy, more active. So I'm getting married this June, excited about that. And yeah, just more things to add to the plate. Thank you.
Great. Well, good afternoon. I'm Matt Long. I've had the chance to meet a number of folks in this room. So I just want to say thank you. I know a lot of you personally and look forward to getting you to know you personally. And I work for Akron Children's Hospital with Doc Rob. That's how I really ventured into becoming an Akron Rotarian. And I was just thinking about really some of the things besides what I do, kind of what I look forward to in Rotary and just the legacy just of service, of giving back. And also too is one of the things that I just personally really enjoy is relationships. Working for the foundation, I'm always working with people and how they want to accomplish some of their, whether it be philanthropic or community-oriented goals for a greater purpose. And it's exciting for me to kind of be on this side of things and saying is how can I, to Steve's point earlier, create impact in a greater Akron area. So congratulations on just your success, and I just hope to be able to join you in fellowship and service and just be a small part of that. Just personally, a little bit about me, work at Akron Children's. My wife and I live in Medina. We hope to start a family sooner than later. She is a nurse by background, and I'm sure you'll see her maybe sooner than later, but certainly serving some chili next February. So thank you.
That was great. Thanks, everybody. Please make yourselves comfortable. And now I'd like to introduce Jerry Keefe to come up and introduce our speaker for today. Thank you all very much.
Justin is a dynamic nonprofit leader, community advocate, and architect of social change, specializing in operations management, process enhancement, and stakeholder engagement. His reputation is built on his talent for uniting diverse voices and crafting sustainable initiatives that generate a positive economic impact. Justin is deeply passionate about community development, exemplified by his successful co-founding and leadership of the NoHi pop-up and café, which not only contributes to economic growth, but also supports budding culinary entrepreneurs. His expertise extends to harnessing the transformative potential of creative placemaking, breathing new life into multicultural neighborhoods, while driving economic prosperity and celebrating cultural diversity. Justin possesses an intimate understanding of the nuances within multicultural communities, and he has honed his skill in engaging residents and stakeholders effectively. His work is a testament to his unwavering dedication to fortifying neighborhoods by utilizing art, culture, and community involvement. Justin, wherever he is, he's over there.
All right. Well, thank you, Jerry. Can you all hear me well?
Yeah.
We're good. All right. I want to say thank you to the Akron Rotary Club for just being flexible with my schedule. I'm in Columbus currently at an economic development training, which is necessary for the work that we're doing. But it's really a privilege to share the work that we're doing here in North Hill. So we'll just get right to it. I'm super excited to be here. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second here.
No problem.
All right. Am I sharing yet?
Don't see it yet here.
Let's try again. Here we go.
There we go.
All right, perfect.
Yep, now we can see it. Yep.
Okay. Let me minimize that. All right, so the mission of North Hill Community Development Corporation is to unite people and places and programs in stimulating a robust and creative economy in North Hill while anchoring a flourishing intercultural community that celebrates its vibrant diversity. And part of that work, if you look at this picture here, this is from an event that we did last year with Little Amal, and we are excited to announce that through that collaboration of NCC Akron, the North Hill Library, um, and the Little Amal team, we have received the collaboration award through Summit Art Space. So part of the work that we do is really to make sure that not just our new American residents, but also our neighborhood residents have the opportunity to be a part of how we're changing and shaping cultural experiences in our neighborhood. Go to the next slide here. So I will say straight away, I am not a PowerPoint presentation maker, so please do not punch me in the face for my novice skills. But just an overview of what we're going to go through are the assets of North Hill CDC, what they do, how we work with community partners, and what the outcomes are some of the work within the neighborhood. So the assets currently that we're working on in the neighborhood are the Exchange House, which is transitional housing for new immigrants in the neighborhood. The Maker House, which is our Women's Empowerment Center and Makerspace. People's Park, which is a premier event space in the neighborhood. And these last three at the bottom, the Howard Street Heritage Courtyard, 771 North Main Street, and the Friends of Waters Park are the things that we're working towards currently. So People's Park is one of our premier assets in North Hill. What we did is it's technically the backyard of the Exchange House and Maker's House, and we turned it into an event space. And in this space we've hosted everything from the True North Awards, which is and our International Day of Peace, which are pictured below, but weddings in partnership with the city of Akron, cultural events. And over the past, I'd say 4 years, this space has really been inviting and connecting residents and neighbors to each other, but also to the wonderful organizations that we have in the neighborhood. And we're really excited about the space. We've been able to expand it kind of every year with adding more art to the space, inviting in additional community organizations, and really trying to create what's missing in North Hill is intersectional public space, right? We don't have a space where everybody gathers. Naturally, our neighborhood is a bit siloed. And we know that public space can change that. North Hill still doesn't have a coffee house. So just those third spaces that are really important for residents and neighbors to gather don't exist. And People's Park is an example of how we're able to take underutilized spaces and transform them into something that the neighborhood is proud about. So the Maker House and the Exchange House, again, they were a part of reimagining Century Homes. So through funding from local foundations, we were able to take both those houses and turn them into a community and cultural hubs. So the Exchange House itself is transitional housing for IIA, the International Institute of Akron. This is a partnership that we started a year ago. And since then, we've been able to welcome a total of about 20 families from about 12 different countries. And what's unique about that is with North Hill being Akron's international district, a good percentage of those families who are just coming into the country will probably reside in North Hill for their first home. So what a better way for them to start getting acclimated to the stores, to the schools, is for them to start right here in this space. But the Exchange House has a fantastic history of being a dynamic space that is able to be modular. In the past, it's been an Airbnb and a cultural hub. It's hosted everything from religious ceremonies to plays to community meetings. And as I took leadership in the organization, one of those pieces around programming, really wanted to find stability. And the partnership with the International Institute has just been fantastic. The Maker House was also part of came out of some of the conversations that we had at the Exchange House with our international community, both our foreign-born and our American residents, about what are the needs. And we identified that there weren't enough spaces focused on women having access to each other and having access to equipment to either help grow their business or really work on things that they have brought with them from other countries. So within the makerspace, we have, again, converted this house. The first floor is just meeting space. The second floor is office space and one of our maker spaces. And the third floor is a sewing studio. And we have two fantastic organizations that that utilize this space. One is Limitless Ambition, ran by Alicia Robinson. It's an organization focused on women between the age of, I think it's like 8 and 24, helping them just really discover that they have their true potential. And so we're super excited about what this space does. There's one thing that we recognize that's very unique about taking old homes and opening them up to the community is that houses do something different that sometimes commercial spaces can't. They're intimate, they're cozy, and it really creates an environment that is extremely inviting and productive for a lot of the businesses and women or persons who participate in the space. So through our work, while we're trying to do larger development that can have a more significant economic impact, we've really been pushing working with local entrepreneurs, specifically artists within the neighborhood, for them to be able to have access to helping to shape the experience within the neighborhood. So pictured here on this slide are 4 art projects that we did over the last couple of years. 3 of them actually from last year. Last year alone, in 2023, we were able to do a total of 5 community murals. And what's been fantastic about that is being able to help create not just wayfinding within the neighborhood, but also connect our residents to where they are geographically. I think North Hill gets kind of tricky because like you're in North Hill, but it's Akron's International District, and then within that area is Temple Square, and where are all these things at? So there's a bit of a disconnect for how residents were identifying North Hill, but also how just Akronites were identifying place within North Hill. So it's been a really this has been able to help us with our mission to focus on economic development, creative placemaking, and building social cohesion, to leverage volunteers within this process to identify artists who normally don't have access or sometimes the business acumen for how to scale their work. A lot of the work that you're seeing here, we were able to work with, some people call them graffiti artists. I think graffiti has a negative connotation, where I like to use the term aerosol artists, which a lot of those artists are used to only working on train yards. And you've seen them waiting at a red light as a train going by, and they're sneaking underneath the guise of night and tagging, if you will, these trains. But to actually see that these artists, they have a very unique talent. They move extremely quickly. If the robot mural, they did that in less than a day. The mural that has all the words on it, that was done in like 6 hours. And that's 1 or 2 guys working together. So we really look at art as a unique opportunity to just create a sense of pride within your neighborhood. So one of our next projects that we will be unveiling in hopefully July, sometimes construction is slow, is Howard Street Heritage Courtyard. If you're not familiar with Howard Street is was at one point considered Akron's Black Wall Street. And due to the effects of urban renewal and redlining, those businesses that once just really made this district thrive have been decimated by roads that we don't technically use as often in the cities, trying to figure out what to do with the intervote. So what we wanted to do with this project was to be able to connect the history of Howard Street and its residents with the present. Part of the disinvestment in North Hill, which I found through community conversations and listening sessions, is the African American community and our older Italian community felt that they were overlooked when the city designated North Hill Akron's International District, right? And to a degree, it's kind of always been Akron's International District. It's welcomed a lot of Italian and Eastern European families. But within that conversation, specifically the African American voice felt like it had been left out of opportunities. I mean, so much so our Great Streets District, which provides funding for, facade grants for businesses, it stopped literally at the intersection of Howard and East Caldwell Falls Avenue. So any of those businesses that were still left on Howard were not able to receive any of those grants that come through some of these city programs. But we wanted to create a place with Howard Heritage Courtyard that is able to really honor the legacy of African American arts and culture and business. So what's unique about this space is it will be Akron's first interchangeable mural wall. We're working with Charlie Harris from East Avenue Market and Gallery to curate the first installation. And we're really excited about this space because we were able to take an underutilized lot, put lighting and paths through it, create a gathering space for residents and neighbors. And we're so excited to start programming this space and what impact it will have. Again, there's been so much disinvestment on Howard Street, and everyone does talk about, the jazz history and what Howard Street meant to Akron. But when you really talk to residents in the neighborhood, they have no relationship with that because those businesses, that infrastructure just doesn't exist. And this was a part of our strategy to be able to connect what's happening on Main Street to what's going on Howard Street to spur economic creativity and opportunity. What's unique with the Howard Street Heritage Courtyard is we created a coloring book. We distribute this through you can find it on our website and download a copy, but it's a resource that's at the library. It's at all of our local barbershops and some of our small businesses as well. We want to find a way to really connect our residents to space and build build a sense of ownership of the neighborhood. So this coloring book, it highlights some of the assets in the neighborhood. It highlights our Great Streets District, but it also brings to space talking about Waters Park. Waters Park, I think, is another asset in the neighborhood that needs to really be a focal point of recreation and a destination. And currently it's not. If you're familiar with Frank Waters he used to be a lawyer for the city of Akron. The Waters Park was actually his homestead land that he donated to his daughter, donated to the city of Akron once he passed. And it was actually the location for Akron's first playground. What's sad about that is currently there isn't a playground there. Like, yes, it's pickleball courts. There's a gorgeous amphitheater there, and there's shuffleboard, but that recreation currently does not represent the diversity of the neighborhood. So we wanted to utilize this coloring book in this space and opportunity for residents to provide their input. If this is Akron's International District, how do we not have things like cane ball courts or badminton courts or street soccer courts to really help our residents, enjoy this space? So we're excited that there's been some momentum around this space. Torchbearers we're working with Torchbearers. They've provided some funding for us to get some plans done to activate the amphitheater. In 2025, it will be Gumdip Theater will perform an outdoor drama for the bicentennial. And hopefully this year we will host World Refugee Day in this space. We've really been looking at what our assets are in the neighborhood that are underutilized, that are lacking resources, and trying to figure out how do we pour these resources in them. For the past 3 years, we've been, not minus last year, so for the past 2 years, we've been finalists in Akron's Parks Challenge. And what we found is that there wasn't enough opportunity or recreation for residents to come and spend time. And so we're trying to change that dynamic and shift the focus to make sure that residents, one, know that their voice will have power, but that also what they say has a path to be implemented. So this coloring book is an opportunity to do that. And on the flip side of the coloring book, which I don't have a slide of, it's just a blank page, right? And that's another opportunity for engagement. It allows residents to be able to submit their own art design that can be a selection for the installation for Howard Street. We want to make sure that residents just have opportunity to engage. So our next project that we are super excited about is 771 North Main Street. And if you're able to look in the back of that picture, the beautiful green house and the blue house, that's the Exchange House and the Maker House. And the building that you're looking at will be North Hill CDC's first commercial redevelopment project. We're looking at a total of 9 affordable housing units that will be able to kind of put in between the second floor, and then that building is carved up so interesting. There's like a subfloor in the back, so we'll have some additional units there. And then we'll be able to have some co-working space, micro retail space, and hopefully enough space for a fast casual restaurant. And again, I kind of mentioned before why our arts and cultural programming is at the front of our work, and why development is something that we're building towards. Just putting together the capital stack for these type of projects takes a while, and we've raised a little bit over $1.8 million for this project, where we're still about another $1 million shy. So we'll have to work on this thing in phases, and hopefully we'll be able to break ground later this year. And again, there isn't an existing infrastructure for us to just buy up a bunch of buildings or redevelop buildings. We have to really look at the opportunities around new development, and that's that 5 to 20 year plan for how those things happen. And honestly, frankly, the neighborhood can't wait for those developments to happen for us to create engaging experiences within the neighborhood. So that's why at the front of our work, again, arts and culture programming, working with all of our partners is so much embedded into the work that we do. So this is just a quick slide to kind of show you the areas that we are kind of focused in around North Hill, from the murals that we did to the beautification projects. Again, People's Park, last year alone, we had over 5,000 guests come to the park for a wide variety of events. The Maker House has over 600 hours of programming that go into that space. And we had a ton of volunteers last year, which we were super excited about, just being a part of the beautification and the revitalization of the neighborhood. So this is something that, again, I can send out to your team if you guys want to take a deeper dive and have a look at that as well. So this is something that we're super passionate about, transforming communities through creativity and innovation. That is something that we're passionate about here in North Hill. So that was a very quick slideshow. Again, I didn't want to take a super deep dive into the work. I just wanted to provide you guys some opportunity just to see the things that we're working on as an organization, what we're passionate about, and what are the next steps for us moving forward. And they will continue to be that. I know sometimes the conversation comes up around, what are you guys doing around housing? Again, we're a young CDC. We're scrappy, but we're young. And with existing partners in the area, Crossy is building new houses, Testa is building new homes, Habitat is building new homes, and we're young, right? So us trying to dive into that didn't make the most sense for us as an organization. We recognize that we have to think about what's happening on our commercial corridors. There's a lot of missing opportunities, and we saw what success could look like with NoHi. We did over $600,000 in sales, over $400,000. It was a really unique model, right? Went back to food entrepreneurs. Some of our entrepreneurs are actually, a good portion of them are still being active. One's in the mayor's building. Totally Baked Pizzas was another one of our entrepreneurs. So we've seen that we have been successful when it comes to creating programs that can spur economic development. But we need to be able to own the spaces that we're thinking about, and we need more partners and actually private investment into these spaces. So while we're figuring out what those pathways look like, we're definitely investing in people in space through our arts and culture programming. So I know that was a bit of a quick overview, but I wanted to provide enough time for any questions about our work or our strategies, our partners, or the future of the CDC.
Yeah, thank you so much, Justin. I was going to see if anyone had questions, and then if I don't know if you can hear on this mic as well. If Tom, you want to maybe help relay any questions we may have?
Justin, thank you. That was great. As a lifelong Akron resident, I'm pleased to know all the positive things that are happening in North Hill. And if I can ask you a couple of things, you touched on it briefly, but can you briefly explain how the various diverse cultures are living together and getting along? You know, the immigrant community, I know is kind of up and coming. The African American community, the Italian community, are there disparate parts of the neighborhood, or is everybody kind of buying into your vision, and are people just getting along and buying into the investment and kind of enriching the whole neighborhood?
Right. So thanks for your question. I would say yes. There's complete buy-in from residents, right? About what does it mean to be an international district? What are the opportunities for cultural tourism within the neighborhood? And how do we move forward? And if I'm being honest, I think that there's still some siloing that naturally happens because it's a multicultural neighborhood that doesn't currently have the infrastructure to create, again, intersectional experiences, right? So, and what I have found, we have over 11 international grocery stores in our neighborhood that are very active. Their numbers are actually quite impressive that these little grocery stores do. I mean, some of them doing 100K a week, right, in sales. But what you'll find is that our American-born residents, they are not comfortable walking into these stores. And my thing is like, hey, if you're going to make authentic, like, ramen or Thai dish, you'll end up going to Acme or Mustard Seed or one of these stores to buy these products, which in retrospect that's the opposite of what you should be doing, right? So there's the opportunity and the education, right, to know that these resources are here, that you can go into these stores and spend your money, and they have excellent produce and products. That has not become rote within our neighborhood. So we're trying to understand between working with partners, whether it's IIA or Asia or Urban Vision or Proyecto de ICES, how do we create synergies that we're highlighting our businesses, we're highlighting the talent that we have in the neighborhood. And that's why this arts and culture programming is so important, because it's living out loud, right? These are events that are happening in public, that are happening in our commercial corridors, that are then the opportunities for people to meet new residents. So yes, there is siloing, but we're in the process of unwinding that. And it's a slow drip process, but it is happening. And I think the catalyst will be how our public space will transform that. And you see an excellent job of how our schools are doing it. Again, the websites for some of our APS schools in the North Hill cluster, you click a button and they transfer different languages. They have cultural brokers and interpreters within the school, so we can constantly address the language barrier. And then kids do a fantastic job of helping their parents, right? So we see this collaboration happening often, but sometimes it's within silos, and we want to figure out ways to do something different.
Great, thanks for that answer. Other questions, please? Susan?
Yes, I just want to applaud all of your efforts here. I've been able to participate in some of the events that have been, ongoing there on North Hill. And, it's just beautiful to see, all of those changes. I use Howard Street often, and I would love to see thriving businesses there. And, all of the ethnic restaurants are so exciting as well. So thank you. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Any other questions? I know we're running up against time here, so if not, again, Justin, thank you so much, and keep up the great work. Very informative, and excited to continue to see the progress in North Hill. So thank you.
Justin, I'll just add that going forward, it looks like it might be an opportunity for maybe Rotary Club to take a little road trip and pick one of your spots for lunch, so we can get some of our folks up there to see it live. And we want to thank you for taking the time today and to be with us, and we congratulate you on your success, and I see opportunities where maybe we can partner together. So thank you. being with us today.
All right, thank you for the opportunity. You all have a great day.
Thank you very much. That was awesome. A little bit of business to take care of. Can somebody pull our daily lottery? Maybe one of our new members.
Yeah, how about that? All right. Sammy K, you want to pick for 2 big ones today, but then you got a chance at the progressive 5. All right.
A lot of pressure.
You can read it. Go ahead. Your progressive 5 is about 300, I think.
Okay. Winning number is 443040.
All right.
All right, Susan.
Thank you. Okay, all right.
You said I got the win.
Yeah, you got it. I did say that.
You said it to me too, Susan.
Two. I knew I'd be right for one of you.
Karen's a liar.
That's in the trip, that's right. For some of the yeah, I guess all their audience.
Karen failed the four-way test.
I'm not building goodwill and better friendships. Two hearts, all right, the pot grows, all right, you got your 2 back.
Congratulations, Susan. I want to remind everybody that we have joint speakers next week, Brian Meyer and Jason Segedy, who are going to talk about the renovation of the Polsky building downtown, so that's going to be exciting. And unless there's any other business to take care of, this concludes our meeting, and I want to once again welcome Sammy Kay, Brian, and Matt. Thanks, everybody.